Hello everybody. So in 2025 at this point of time you might have used a lot of tools for actually doing vibe coding. You might have actually tried a couple of tools and made some cool fun projects as well. And definitely nowadays it's become extremely easy to create a new application and take it to the production. But an interesting fact is that most of the existing platforms that you're going to actually see in general lack some really important features for a professional production grade application. You will see some of the platforms actually lack the fact that you will not be able to easily integrate things like databases, the scalability aspects, notifications aspect and whatnot. You will see some of the platforms are not that beginner friendly, and also a lot of platforms lack the capability of CI/CD integration so that you can make your development to production journey slightly a bit more seamless. Now, in this particular video, I have taken a challenge. I'll be creating an end-to-end URL shortener application where we will be able to take an existing long URL and create a short URL out of it in less than 5 minutes. And for this, I'm going to use a very interesting platform named as Back4App. Let me show you what it is. So Back4App is a production grade, ready to use platform where you can actually make, I would say, production grade applications with AI powered tools. You will be able to create applications way more faster, and actually your applications will be able to serve a lot of users at scale. So we are going to use Back4App and we are going to use Cursor, and we are going to use the capabilities of MCP provided by Back4App with Cursor in order to make sure that we are able to create an end-to-end application in less than 5 minutes. So without any further ado, let's just start. But before starting the video, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we are going to put some really awesome content coming up ahead. So let's just start. So what are going to be the requirements of our application? For this particular video, I have kept the requirements a bit more simple. We are going to have a front end, which is going to connect to our Back4App backend, right? The backend and the front end is going to be hosted by Back4App. On this particular front end, we will be taking some long URLs and we will be able to create a shortened version out of it. All of this we are going to do without putting much of an effort, and we'll be just vibe coding using Cursor, right? But before we actually start putting the application into structure, we need to make sure that we are able to integrate Back4App with Cursor. And it is going to be extremely easy for you to do this. So if you will come to the documentation of MCP on Back4App backend, you can actually go to this URL and you will be able to find the dedicated documentation to integrate MCP, right? If you don't know about MCP, MCP is a standard for connecting LLMs to platforms like Back4App, etc. Right? There are a lot of platforms which are now giving this particular capability, and you will be able to connect to different IDs like Cursor, Windsurf, VS Codes, etc. In this particular tutorial, we are going to use Cursor altogether. So the first thing is you need to actually go to the platform of Back4App and you need to sign up and actually create a particular account. Now, once your account is ready, then you need to get an account key. It's very easy to get your account key. All you have to do is, once you have technically logged in and you have signed up, you can go to this particular drop down and there is an option for creating account keys. If you click on creating account keys, you will be actually redirected to this particular page. You can see I already have an account key present here. All you have to do is just put some account key name. So let's say you can say sample key, right? And then you will be able to click on this plus and you will be having a new key altogether. If you want to remove some keys, you will be able to remove the keys as well. So it's pretty easy to create a new account key. Now make sure you copy this particular account key because you will actually need it in order to integrate to Cursor. Once you have this account key created, now what you need to do is you need to install MCP auto to Cursor. You can do a dedicated installation using this particular command. So you can see if you are using Cursor, you can actually use this command, and inside this command at the very last, instead of your account key, you can paste that account key. Or there is a manual process also that I'm going to show you just now. So the manual process is also pretty simple. All you have to do is you can scroll down to the documentation, right? You can see there is an option to configure in your AI tool manually, right? And you can see there is a JSON that you can actually copy. This JSON is just going to make sure that you are able to configure MCP servers with Back4App. And here you can see there is an option of account key. Make sure the account key that you just created, you are copy pasting this account key in this JSON. Take this particular JSON and open cursor, right? You can see I have cursor opened up here. You can go to cursor settings, and there is a cursor settings that you can actually open up. Once you will open cursor settings, you can see all the instructions are also mentioned here, right? So cursor, go to cursor menu and cursor settings, and in that you have to go to MCP. So you can see there is a tools and MCP. You can actually go here, and here you can actually create a new MC, or I would say add a custom MCP server. So once you click here, you can see I've already pasted my JSON here, and you can see the same account key I've pasted. All you have to do is just paste this JSON here and put the account key that you just created. Once you will do that, you will be able to see Back4App technically coming up ahead, right? I already have Back4App installed here. So you can see I'm already getting that option. You just need to make sure that you have this option turned up, and that is it. This is all that you have to do. You can see in Mac OS and Linux, you have to copy this particular JSON. In Windows, you have to copy this particular JSON. Just replace the account key. You have to save the configuration file, right? That is it. That's all that you have to technically do in order to integrate Cursor with, I would say, Back4App. Now, everything is ready. All we have to do is just start creating an application and give a dedicated prompt so that we can get this application up and running. So let's just start, and let's start getting that prompt coming up ahead. So now you can see I have created a new folder, URL shortener, right? I don't have any code written altogether. Now, before I start giving the prompt, what you can do is you can come to your Back4App dashboard, and here you can actually create a new app, right? I already have a app created, URL shorty. You can go to this new backend, you can give a particular app name, and you can actually create an app. Once that is done, all you have to do is you can give this particular prompt. It's a very simple prompt, right? I have not made it too complex altogether. What I've written here is, let's make a new React app in this folder that can help us to short a given URL for storing the I would say shortened URLs. Use the URL shorty project in my Back4App account, and let's deploy it using Back4App. So you can see I already created an app with the name URL shorty. Now, because we have connected the MCP server with Back4App, everything is going to be seamlessly integrated. It will be able to already identify what all applications you have created in your Back4App account. So whatever is your project name, you can just replace this particular part with your project name. I'm going to keep it as URL shorty, right? And we are going to deploy it using Back4App. This is the only prompt that I'm giving. Let's see what it actually does. So it's trying to create all the relevant to-dos, right? So it has found the current directory. Let's wait for it to actually complete. And here we go. So you can see it has generated a command. With this command, looks like a basic structure of a React application is up, right? Let's see what it does next. Now it's installing all the dependencies so that we have the node modules ready. And you can see I don't have to do anything. It's doing almost everything itself. Cool. Now you can see it's actually parsing the applications, right? You can see this get parse apps, right? If you see the details of this get parse apps, it is actually getting all the details from my Back4App account, right? And set the current app as application ID this. So this is the URL shorty, I would say application, right? So it has connected with that particular application. Let's see what it does now. Okay, so now you can see it has actually read a few things in application.jsx. You can see this is the default app.jsx altogether that it has completely parsed, right? Let's see what it does next. So at each step, it is going to actually read a lot of files. It is going to make, it is going to figure out that what all changes are required for application to work. Make sure that it connects to the Back4App account for all the relevant details, and then only moves ahead. So let's wait for this complete prompt to work, and let's see at the end what is the final product that we are getting using this particular prompt. Okay, so the complete work has been done, right? It took approximately 1.5 minutes for it to create the complete application. You can see we have this URL here. We can copy this URL because it has end-to-end deployed the application for us as well. So let's see what we got. So let's open this and here we go. You can see an end-to-end front end also ready for us. Let's now take a URL. I'll just take this same URL maybe and try to, let's say, shorten it. Okay, shorten, and here we go. You can see we have a brand new shortened URL, and we can maybe take a few more URLs. Let's say, for example, this one, right? And let's paste it here, shorten, here we go. And you can see all the recent links are coming up as well. So our work for taking a URL and shorten it is actually working end to end fine. Right now, what I would like you guys to do is, on top of this, try to make sure that when we click on any one of these created URLs, we are able to redirect ourselves also to the original URL. That capability I have not added here, but I would highly recommend you guys to maybe try it out. It's not going to be a lot complex, and maybe what you can do is you can actually work on the architecture, on the logic of the application, right? How exactly you are creating the shortened URL. You can optimize on that logic and whatnot. All of this thanks to Back4App and the capabilities that they have actually introduced. So I would highly recommend you guys to do check out Back4App and try to create an end-to-end production grade application. Also, if you have any question regarding this particular tutorial, do let me know in the comment section below. I would be really happy to answer all of your questions. That being said, let's wrap this particular video here, and we're going to meet soon in the next set of videos. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. I'm Sanket Singh, signing off.